Zing Joe Load.
That was great.
He got you. So that was a roast.
That was priceless.
With just 2 words, I think. I mean, it was just awesome.
And then the look afterward where he goes, he loves everything we do. And then that
He went
look
like
he
this.
gave, he made a look.
I have it on camera.
Oh, you do?
I am.
Oh, my goodness.
That was
You've got to see this.
Precious moment.
You know, there's only really been one thing that I had an issue with.
Listen, just
That's
enjoy. And remember, it's their company. They make the decisions.
Well, I can
But
think of at least 2. One of them's addressed, but it was the lights and the trout.
And the lights are going up.
That's 2 right there.
Yeah.
And they're better than ever. It is energy efficient.
I am so excited.
The
You don't
lights
even
can
know
change.
the amount of emotion I have that's being put towards this beer finally, and it's a good spotlight. And I
You're
do
a huge
appreciate
UC fan.
Huge,
Yeah. Well, listen, we really appreciate Nick coming in and Tim coming in as well. I love those 2 being neighbors down there now because they're doing a great job, and they've done so much for that neighborhood. And now look what Varick Street has become. It's really pretty cool. So, all right, listen, I got to go through a few things. Do you want to add something here, Joe? You brought in something for Christine.
I just brought her a little going away present, some coffee beans. I have a good friend of mine, Howie Cohen. He owns
Mr. Neon.
Neons. Yeah, he is the neon doctor and the most amazing person I could ever know because he fixes all my Utica Club neons that I bring him. And he roasts coffee now. It's called Full of Beans, and it's 100% Arabica beans. They're roasted fresh. You grind them, and that's what makes your coffee a lot better anyway. So, and you can find them. I have a shop in Newport at the Newport Marketplace, and I sell Full of Beans by Howie Cohen.
All right, well, there you go.
Thanks
for pretty cool.
Thank you.
And this is a little something, so now you'll be hooked on them, and you'll have to call me or email me and say, send me more beans, because
Trying to get me addicted. That's
it's amazing
They're
coffee.
addictive. Yeah. All right, good stuff, Joe. Well, thank you. I do have some birthdays I need to squeeze in here. Jerry Elliott in Waterville, happy birthday. Christine is doing it this way because she's suspicious that this, instead of organized the way they're organized every day for me, she feels that with her exiting, this is how I'm going to get them every day. So
No.
now I'm going to.
I
I'll
deleted
live
the
through it.
file on my computer, and I tried to rebuild it this morning.
Jerry Elliott, happy birthday in Waterville. Xander Kostlike in Clinton, happy birthday. Caitlin Brown is celebrating a birthday on the 26th. Happy birthday. I have a birthday for Joseph Camiso, and 64 years old on June 25th.
That's our
Happy
buddy
birthday.
Joe in Rome.
Oh, that is Joe. Joe, we
Yeah.
talked to just the other day.
Happy birthday, Joe.
Happy birthday, Joe. And Xander Kostlike, another one sent in for Xander. Tony Colon, a 13-year-old in Utica, is celebrating. And also Joey Zogby in New Hartford, and Joe is going to be 49. The cake will go to Xander Kostlike from the Florentine Pastry Shop on Bleecker Street in downtown Utica. Now, I do need to switch gears just a little bit and take care of some things. This is turning quickly into our Christmas Eve show.
Yeah, I just had that feeling.
And Free Plug Friday, I think.
And
I got these beans. I got this beer. I got a little shop in Newport.
I am glad that I could provide that opportunity. For
The only thing he wasn't plugging was Raymore and Flanagan.
I'm off there soon. I got to get
Okay,
there.
all right.
If you need a sofa.
I want to take a bit of a serious note if we can. I have on the line George Phillips. George, of course, is a candidate for Congress, and there's a debate coming up later on today. He's one of 3 Republicans vying in that primary for the nomination for NY22. George, thanks for coming on. And this is the last time we'll speak before Tuesday's primary. So you have the floor. How do you feel after this short but long campaign? It seems long.
I feel great, Bill. I wanted to thank you for having me on. I wanted to wish Christine all the best, too, and thank her for all the courtesy she showed me the many times I've been fortunate to be on the show.
Thank you so much.
So you've had some debates under your belt here. You've got another one that's going to be down in the Binghamton area later today. And how are you feeling as you're coming in? There was a poll out that has you a somewhat of a distant third, but you know how polls go.
Well, we save our resources till the end, and we've done great in the debates. Our mail is hitting at the end. I know Steve Wells had a lot of resources, and he was in early. I know Claudia Tenney has some name ID from having run quite a few times before here. I think we're right where we want to be here. I think a lot of voters are still making their final decision, and we're making the case here. I think there's a lot of undecideds at this point, and we're making the case to everyone here that we've done very well in the debates. We've led on ideas. We've had clear policy ideas. I'm the only candidate that's led on a clear upstate jobs plan that will bring tax and regulatory relief to our small businesses, that will try to bring private sector capital investment to Marcy and Rome and our technology projects we have going on there. I've led with a clear plan to heroin epidemic and try to defeat it at its source in Mexico. I've led with a clear alternative to Obamacare of a dynamic market of choice. I've led with clear plans on transforming welfare into a work program, of reining in out-of-control federal spending with a Ronald Reagan-style Grace Commission that I think could save taxpayers billions, and a plan to beat ISIS, a nothing in, nothing out embargo. We've got to strangle the beast. We've got to beat them. These are my strengths, that I've really led on the issues, and I've had a bold vision for our country, and I think that's what's gaining traction. I can't tell you the amount of goodwill we got out of the debate after we were out on the doors in the Utica area after the debate on your show, and thank you for all the time on that. But we really got to get into the issues, and I feel like I've shined when we talk about policy and a vision and direction for the country.
Yeah. So I want to ask you, if I could, that you're not on you're not on a third party line, so this is it. Am I correct with that? I was trying to go through my notes. That is correct.
Well, look, the path to the general election in November is through the Republican nomination. So yes, I'm focused on getting the Republican nomination on Tuesday.
Okay, and I wanted to talk to you too about the American Conservative Union. We had them on yesterday, and of course, the New York State Conservatives are contesting. They are endorsing Claudia Tenney, and they did make a charge, and Assemblywoman Tenney did as well, that basically this is because you have friends in Washington, and with the ACU, your friends, kind of tying you to Washington. Address that a little bit.
So I'm a very unique candidate. I'm an American history teacher. I'm a regular guy in our community, but as I've mentioned many times here, I was mentored by the great Jack Kemp, the Buffalo Bill football star who spearheaded the Reagan agenda. I've worked relentlessly the last 2 years on Kemp policy ideas, which give me a real expertise to lead on critical issues facing our nation. And I went through a very vigorous vetting process. Some of the charges and personal attacks that were laid at the American Conservative Union, I actually didn't even interview with some of the people that were charged with in this what you just referenced. So I went through a vigorous process, and it's just really honored to get the endorsement because only a few candidates get it in the whole nation. But I think I received it because of the bold ideas I've laid forth.
How do you feel about Mike Long, of course, endorsing, and the conservatives in New York State endorsing the Assemblywoman? And he even said he felt that the ACU got bad information, and addressed the point where they're saying it's about your friendships, it's not about your conservative values. Address that.
Yeah, well, the state party endorses in almost every race. We would have been honored to have their endorsement. We've had their endorsement before, and it's a complicated process there. There's a state executive committee, and a couple of the key executive committee members were actually from this area of the district and had very good relationships with Assemblywoman Tenney. But I don't think you'll find a conservative in the state party that will have a negative thing to say about me. I've got great respect for them, but I would just come back to the point that the American Conservative Union endorsement is a lot bigger in many ways, and that it shows my national leadership, my national potential. There's a lot of fine candidates that get the New York State conservative endorsement, but it's on every race, almost every judge race, assembly race, city council. They're going to have that conservative label by them. I'm one of the few in the entire country that's endorsed by the American Conservative Union.
I believe a charge may have been made that either a campaign member or a consultant is on the board at ACU. Is that correct?
That's absolutely false.
Okay.
When was that charge made? I don't remember that being said.
It was about some. Well, you referenced having friends on the board, and the information I got was that it was more specific than that.
So you're saying that you don't have friends or campaign workers that are on the ACU board?
I don't have any campaign workers on the ACU board. No.
Okay.
I'm sure you would say you had friends on the board, though. That would be.
Well, sure, and I have friends in the state party, and so did Claudia Tenney, and she knows I'm assuming she knows people in the American Conservative Union
Sure.
Well,
board
for the,
as well. I
for
mean,
the
she
record,
ran for Congress as in the last race here, and I'm sure she knows people. But I went through a very vigorous vetting process and was asked a lot of tough questions, and led with bold solutions for this country. And I think I really impressed the people who I was interviewed by, and we're just so honored to have their endorsement.
And for the record, Mike Long, who is the state Conservative Party, he's on that board as well. So, and he endorsed for the state party, endorsed Assemblywoman Tenney. So, all right, George Phillips, we thank your time. Thank you for your time. Each time we've asked you to come on, you have. We appreciate that, and wish you the best.
I'd just like to thank you again. I'd like to thank the voters and to ask them to take just one last look at me. As I mentioned, we saved our resources to the end. Our mail is hitting here right at the end of the critical time. We've got a lot of momentum, and we'd love for you to check us out more at phillipscongress.com. I'd be honored to have your vote on Tuesday, and I will be a vigorous advocate if fortunate enough to serve in the Congress for the Utica area, for the Mohawk Valley, and I'll be a relentless advocate for the American taxpayer.
All right, George, thanks so much. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, quick break. We'll come right back. Congressman Hanna next. He's calling in about two things quickly as he's in Washington. His voting record was challenged by Assemblywoman Tenney last week. And then what in the hell was going on with the Democrats? And they wussed out like I didn't think they would have the guts and gall to do. They left yesterday. I can't even believe after that display, they picked up and went home to their barbecues.
Yeah.
We'll talk to the congressman coming up next to WIBX.